A mermaid-themed oceanfront property is the perfect example of what can happen when everything you've ever imagined your future home to be actually comes together. We'll discover how, for Karen, it's a dream come true. But first, we'll visit Brad and Barry, whose open-concept home atop a seawall faces the water, with nothing to obstruct their magnificent view except the occasional seal and bout of rain. Water, deep, flowing, mysterious, ever-changing yet constant, the inspiration of artists and adventurers. It's the foundation of life. We are drawn to it, to watch it, listen to it, immerse ourselves, and for those who choose, to live beside it.
Yeah, Barry wanted to move out to the coast, and it's like, hey, an adventure. And if it doesn't work out, move back. It worked. We fell in love with the house. It's on the water. That's what we're looking for, and that's kind of why we moved from the prairies here, is to be next to the water. We can't get any closer to the water here.
We just really wanted to get back to the coast, live by the ocean, and sort of slow down lifestyle a little bit. Life's too short to spend it all living in the same place, so we moved. A lot of properties we find in Nova Scotia, there's always the ocean, then there's the road, then there's the house. And I really wanted to be between the road and the ocean. Simply because, you know, when you look out, there's just no obstruction. It's just like, you're the only person that lives here. I'm quite lucky to find it, I think. Well, in addition to being physically on the water, we're a little closer to the city, just like 30 minutes to downtown, so we're really close to all the amenities. Leave the city half an hour, you're in paradise, man. Like, we're just, you know, a great spot, and it's a good location for us, I think.
Well, our front yard is literally a dock. So our last house the front yard was a wheat field. And so you get the movement kind of like the ocean, but yeah, not really. But
and even after living in the prairies for such a long time, whenever I traveled anywhere in the world and, you know, the plane was coming into land and there's water, it was just sort of like, it's so nice to see. You know, it's pretty cool. Yeah, when you enter our main door, walk into the living room, and the very first thing you see is the view, because there's, you know, 3 beautiful windows overlooking the harbor itself. Every day, the colors are different, the sky's different, the water's different, and it really does take your breath away. We have an open concept, so at the other end of the room, there's our kitchen and dining room, and it really works well when we have people together, or when it's just both of us. I usually do the cooking, and we can still have a conversation because he's usually relaxing with a glass of wine or a beer. I'm the cook/baker in the house, so I spend, you know, lots of time in the kitchen preparing, you know, meals and stuff like that. And of course, the kitchen being in the same space as the living room with all the windows. I mean, anywhere you sit here, you see a great view.
the most unique part of this house, yeah, definitely would be the floors.
The main floor has a series of concentric circles that are various different shades of brown. That sort of makes it look unique.
The artwork is pretty much a joint effort, but with Barry's job when he was working, he'd travel all over the world, and every now and then he'd bring something unique home, and it just fit in. A lot of the art in the house is stuff that we've produced ourselves, and so it's kind of a little bit of everything.
And we have a second level as well. The second level has 2 bedrooms and a small working den that is a nice place to get away from it all and do some work if need be, or sit back and read a book. The main bedroom has got a beautiful view of the harbor. The ensuite is really kind of cool because above the vanity, you normally find a mirror. In this house, there is no mirror, it's just a window overlooking the harbor. Since we've been here, we've built a small sort of TV shed on our dock. It started off as just going to be a place for some shade because neither one of us like to be in the sun all the time. And this property, we have full sun all day long. So we wanted a shade spot. And as we were building it, we thought, well, it's kind of windy here, so maybe we should put some walls on this thing, and it closed it a bit. And it sort of morphed into a fully insulated, furnished, year-round room to sit and enjoy the view and watch some TV and relax.
And we're out there every evening. We've taken our TV that was in the house, put it out there.
We spend probably more time out there than we do actually in the house. We just find it cozy and, put on the fire and you get a great view. And yeah, it's a great place to be.
Our dog, Dudley, that's his favorite spot. He just kind of spins in circles whenever we get near the patio door to go out to the shed, and he just absolutely loves it there. The house is actually quite small, but it looks very large and impressive from the outside. And what I really enjoy is the wood shingles. Coming from the prairies, you don't see houses with that type of a siding on it. And I've always wanted to have a house with shingles like that, and now we have one. As you come down the driveway, you approach the house, you have two choices. Go up to the front door or go to the wharf. So you just hang a right and you're onto the dock. One of our favorite places is the hot tub. We moved in, figured, hey, where do you put a hot tub? Don't know. Stick it on the dock. And it's great.
And there's times when, the light is right, or, the moon is coming up, or the sun is going down, and you kind of pinch yourself, like it's kind of surreal that, wow, we actually live here. There's always something really unique going on. We do see lots of wildlife around. Particularly, we have a family of seals that are in the harbor almost year-round, and they're constantly, popping their heads up or bobbing around.
The weather here is great. Coming from Winnipeg, I kind of chuckle when the locals are like, oh my God, it's cold. It's like, yeah, no. So I haven't had to break out a winter jacket yet. It's been wonderful. The only thing that's a bit different than living on the prairies is you get a lot of rain and kind of overcast, but it's wonderful. You can be outside pretty much any day of the week, and even when it does rain, it doesn't rain hard. It's just a little drizzle. It's kind of nice, refreshing.
We're coming into, our fourth winter here, and we may have shoveled the driveway half a dozen times.
We have shoveled the driveway.
Okay, he's shoveled the driveway. Someone's got to cook, right? The old expression, there's no place like home, it truly is no place like home. I travel extensively, both professionally and personally. And whether you're away for a weekend or a couple of months, it's always great to come home, because even though you're exploring new things, you kind of miss your everyday routines and your everyday view, and curious as to what's going on while you're away. It's always nice to come back home.
The water-based activities we get up to are primarily kayaking. What I like most about kayaking is bringing the dog out. For some reason, Dudley, our dog, has taken to kayaking in a very strange way. You take his little life jacket out and he sees that and just spinning in circles. And the dog is 16 years old, and so for him to spin in circles is quite a feat in itself. But
when we're out kayaking, you kind of get a totally different perspective of not only our house, but the entire harbor. You're getting a whale's eye view. Love to go kayaking, just to be out there in the nature and be out there in the harbor, but I love it more because we're always meeting people out there, it seems. When we first moved to this house, it was in the middle of COVID and the pandemic, and there was no social gatherings, there was nothing happening in the community. And everybody was kayaking because that was something you could do that was kind of social, but respecting distance from people. So the first spring and summer we were here, we met half of the community just from being out in the kayak.
The community that I grew up in was quite small, so this kind of takes me back to my roots. And everybody here that we've met is just, friendly and welcoming and just a wonderful place to be.
I think I like living by the water primarily because, it's never the same. Every day it's different. Whether the sound is different, the color is different, the motion is different. It's relaxing, it's enjoyable, it's calming, it's wonderful. We just keep reminding ourselves, like, this is not something we want to take for granted. We got to enjoy this every day. It's quite special.
I can't see myself moving away from here really anytime soon. I think from here it's going to be the senior's home or a box. It's a great place to be. It's just so calming, and we're just very fortunate that we were able to, buy this house and live here. It's been incredible so far, and I can only see it getting better.
Well, you can never say never, but at this point, I certainly have no plans on leaving anytime soon. As we get older, where we live could be a little bit more challenging. We got lots of stairs, but we can change the stairs to ramps on the outside to make them more accessible. I think our stairs is wide enough for a chairlift if we need one.
Sure.
So we can probably stay here for quite a long time. I think a lot of people enjoy living by the water because it's a part of their heritage. And I find a lot of people who grew up as kids on the water, whether it's a coast or a lake in this case, you tend to gravitate back towards that. And it's always comforting to come home, and home could be a house or home could be like a community. For me, home is where my heart is, somewhere that you can be yourself and just gives you a sense of being anchored,
My name is Karen Thompson, and I live here in this house with 3 dogs, 2 cats, and a bird. I've always wanted to be on the ocean, always. I camped across Canada to Nova Scotia, and we stayed for 2 weeks up at the provincial park in St. Peter's. And one day we decided, let's go find a picnic spot and look at the ocean and eat sandwiches. As we were driving, I see this little tiny for sale sign this big. And it looks like it's been there for years. Long story short, I said, I'm in town, I want to see this house. She said, well, I've already got somebody interested in it. And I said, well, what's the offer that you have on it? She told me, and I upped it by a couple thousand. I said, I'll give you that cash. And the good people that are around here, just to show you, she said, I've got to call and see if they're interested. She made the phone call. We're sitting pins and needles. They would not pay what I offered. So July 7th, 2018, I bought a house. When you walk in the front door, you're coming into a nice kitchen with a big island. Those cabinets are homemade from my neighbor Elmer across the street. And he made the pantry, the little coat closet, all of that. And I've got an old-fashioned stove, which I really love. I think it adds to the house. And the pantry is kind of an old-fashioned screen door in the front of it, so you kind of see, so I have to keep it neat and tidy. Into the living room. I love this room because where I sit, I have a 180-degree view of the water. But this is where I spend most of the time in my living room. And the wood in here was actually the original wood interior. It's hickory, and they say 80 to 100 years old for the wood. But when we tore the ceiling off, we found that we could do an incredible cathedral, including the corners had chicken feet construction, so we mimicked that. My interior of this house, I wanted it to look like my version of a little fishing cottage. Underlying theme that it is a mermaid house. I've always had a special connection to mermaids. We go into my bedroom, which is a little mermaid bedroom, and kind of a zen bathroom. It has a penny floor made out of 10,000 pennies. They are Canadian, and then we used some special US coins to make designs. Like when you walk in, there's a mermaid pail. Our ceiling in there is made to look like a metal ceiling. I just wanted to tie everything in. That's a pretty special part of this house, I think. And it was a pretty big challenge, really. Old lady wanting to build a little mermaid house. The exterior is really cool on my house because it is literally on the ocean. You have to go up a pretty steep driveway, and I did have men come in and do a grade and build a seawall so that it didn't all come down in a hurricane or whatever. Big rocks along the edge. But when you start up the driveway, you're going to come to the deck, which is built to look like an actual boat dock. We've got electrical posts that we've cut to make into dock posts, and then got big heavy rope, got many buoys and different fishing implements hanging off the deck. If you squint your eyes a little bit, you really think that you were on a dock. One of the things that I'm so excited about that we were able to do is shingle art all on the house. In the very front, we've got a 6-foot mermaid on the wall. On this dock deck, there's 2 pairs of flip-flops. Around the edge here, there's 1 seagull, and then coming up to the door, I've got a scallop and a starfish. I think my favorite thing is it came together so well. You know, when you've had a vision for years, decades, of things that you say, oh, if I ever have a house by the sea, I want to do this, I want to do that. Well, I did everything, and it turned out. I mean, it looks put together. It looks like it was meant to be. I think it was done so tasteful in some ways and so over the top in others. So it's a nice blend. It's me. It's exactly what I am. I'm a nice Catholic girl who gets into some pretty crazy things. Basically, I go and sit because I have a 180 view. I have a perfect view of the sunset. I open my little slider door there and listen to the waves crash in, listen to the seagulls. It's a perfect place to see the seals and the blackfish, and just a great view. On the outside, sitting on the deck is really nice too. It's very tranquil and peaceful. There are so many reasons I love living by the water. When I feel really good, I like to go out to the studio and futz around out there and make the jewelry and figure out my next combination of opals, etc., to put in the next ring. The pieces that come out, I name all of them. So they're like little children, give them as gifts. And I just love it. The process is a ring band, which is a blank. And you basically pick and choose what you want to fill it with. Then sand it down and polish it. And voila, you got a ring. I think everybody that has come in contact with the property loves it. They feel good when they're here. The heart of my home would probably be my kitchen, because we tend to gather here and we play cards and we play dominoes and we do puzzles and we do Tuesday margarita nights, get pretty rowdy, and we do taco nights. And just, there's a group of us and we get together and we end up congregating in the kitchen. Absolutely could not leave this place. In fact, when I go, I'm going to be ashes over the edge. Why do I think people love living by the water? If they connect to it like me, there's no other place that makes you happy. And face it, water for all of us is life. The concept of home to me is a place where I can feel safe, loved, comfortable, a place for my pets to belong, for them to feel safe. I think it's very important that everybody has a spot they can call their own. When you get in bed at night and you make that sigh that everything is great in the world, that's what home is.
Whether nestled alongside a riverbank or perched high above a distressed ocean, living on the shore has its perks. But beautiful views are only the beginning. The sights, sounds, and sensations of the water are constant in their impact, improving moods, perspectives, and lives. To exist and grow on its edge is extraordinary, an experience made even sweeter when shared with the people we love.
Let the water lift you from the city.